All right, guys, welcome to the Lolly Podcast. I'm here with Paul and Joey. And so my brother talked to me the other day about, he gave me a call and he was talking to me about this game called Crash. Apparently, because I've seen it on YouTube and like TikTok and all that. It's a gambling game, if you guys don't know, where basically there's this little rocket ship and it'll just shoot up into the air. It starts at 1. It goes through 1.01, 1.02, all the way up to however, it can go up to like thousands if it wants. And basically you put a certain amount of money in and you pull it out whenever you want. So say you put $10 in, it gets to 1.5, you pull it out, you just made $5. But it could crash at any point, and whenever it crashes randomly, you lose all your money. Crazy concept. But what was interesting to me is that it's only Bitcoin that you can use on this gambling site.
Cryptocurrency.
I'm sorry,
Ethereum and Litecoin and stuff too.
Which I thought was a very interesting concept because for a lot of people, actually, I guess I don't know. Do you think it's an easier way to do it?
No, it's not easier. It's actually a lot harder to like transfer money.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at the same time.
For now, though.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah,
because it'll change
until we all have like microchips in our hand, and I'm like, hey Jordan, $20.
Bro, like it'll be like 20 coins.
20 coins.
Like it'll be Bitcoin.
You know the craziest part is like
70,
I wish I was someday I think like something that's
gonna happen.
I 100% wish I was kidding.
We were talking about in my comm class. We were talking about how in years and years from now, our kids are gonna be like, I can't believe you guys used to text on your phones. Like,
yeah,
that's like
they're gonna like send messages.
Right now, like what else would we do? But like,
oh, dude,
it's gonna happen.
Weird to think about.
Weird.
People used to say like, bro, like I talked to my mom. I can't believe you like didn't have a phone.
Bro, think about this. 20 years ago, try explaining to somebody Venmo.
Try explaining the internet to somebody
Bro,
back in 1999.
Insane. I want to like get in a coma and just wake up and see how different the world. I feel like it would be so cool.
That's
horrible. It's hard to like
funny
process.
I would love that. A little science experiment, like you wake up and all of a sudden like I'm sending money through my brain and like it's not money, it's like online currency and
pull a Steve Rogers and wake up like 70 years later.
I would love that. Think about how crazy that must have been for him.
It's hard to process, like, because right now in my head, I'm sure there's like, bro, I can say flying cars if I want to, but like overall, all the technology in the world that's going to be like in 50 years from now, I have no idea what it's going to be. But then again, like 50 years ago, they had no idea what would be going on right now. A lot of this stuff was like, you couldn't even think of it. And like now we're doing it.
You know something weird? I was just thinking of this, that like every like idea that someone has, one way or another, it's probably gonna become true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like, oh, let's go put it'd be really cool to go to that weird little white object in the sky at night, like the moon, and then like, you know, like, hey, let's put a man on the moon.
Now it's super easy to get there.
Yeah. And it's gonna be like,
oh well, hold on, it's not super easy.
Yeah, but like,
it will be
there.
easy.
It's not difficult. It's just expensive.
Right,
I
but
think it's
also
easy.
like you need a lifetime's worth of training. Like you need a few years worth of training, and I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into it than we know.
For sure.
Also, I think it's a lot easier now than it was like when they first did it.
Oh,
do you see all the videos where it's like the size of the computer that they put in like the first like space shuttle? Was like the size,
like the room that was like full of computers,
and it had like whatever a gigabyte or like 16 megabytes, something ridiculous. Whereas like you wouldn't even be able to like hold a game on it.
Do you think at some point that like money, like physical money, will not be a thing anymore?
Absolutely,
because with the whole
it's already happening.
With the whole cryptocurrency like argument, because I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people, even now with how big like Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and all that's gotten, a lot of people still I feel like are just afraid of that concept.
Yeah, but look at like debit and credit cards. Cash right now is obsolete. If I had a debit card and I went anywhere in the world, I'd be able to like survive off of like that card or a credit card, whatever. Right. You know what I mean?
2 times in the last 2 months. Paul, you remember this. We went to, I don't know where we were shopping, but you paid with cash. And you were going to get change back, and all he had was ones.
Yeah,
like the place just didn't have cash.
And they were like old ones. He's probably had them in his cash register for like months.
Right, and then like I went to Burger King, I went to Krispy Kreme when I went home. Oh, need it. I went to Krispy Kreme, and bro, it was, by the way, so good. But anyway, they had a sign on the door and said like, due to like cash, like whatever, like we ask that you spend like debit, we ask credit or debit,
right.
Yeah. Which absolutely blows my mind. It doesn't really blow my mind because like I saw it coming from a mile away, but like it's actually happening. Like it's one of those things that we've been talking about, but like it's happening. And I don't know, I get to 5-10 years, no more cash.
Yeah. 10 years. You know why it's going to happen in 10 years? That everything's going to be like all in one. Like no one's going to be carrying cash. Right. Because once this like last generation of like our grandparents and great grandparents like aren't there to spend cash anymore, no one's going to use
Right.
it. Not a single person. Like I'm collecting coins right now for no reason at all. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe they'll be worth more someday.
yeah.
Like,
Not that
my,
you keep them that long.
my mom
Just
used to
like
say,
coins.
like, and it's smart. My mom used to be like, always just carry around a little cash in your wallet. 'Cause you never know, like, emergency
I
wise.
agree with that.
But, like, if I'm being honest, I've probably had the same little bit of cash carried around that, like, I just never, because, like, I've never been in the scenario which I'm like, oh, damn, like, I have to use cash, like, I can't use my card or anything like that. Because the card's just always, 20 times out of 20, always more convenient.
Yeah. But see, convenience is nice, but like that time that like I said this, one of like my first dates with Emily, bro, we went to like Applebee's, and this was before I like carried anything. I had a debit card and like my ID, so we go there and hand my debit card, but I just bought like a MacBook
Right.
for my checking account the day, and my bank. But before you're 18, there's like a spending limit. So bro, like I get my bill back, it's like $60 at Applebee's. I was like, all right, whatever. Here's my debit card, and like I hand it to the waitress, and like declined. Just she was like, it wasn't even like there's a malfunction. She was like, your card was declined, and I was like, what? I was like, there's money in there, but it was like embarrassing. And like, thank God we went with like my friends because you know Colin picked up the bill. I was like,
Right.
oh yeah, and then like I Venmoed him later. But it was one of those things where I was like, wow. Like if they wouldn't, like if Colin wouldn't have been there, like Emily didn't bring her like purse with her. Like it was like she left it at home. Like it was just me and my singular like debit card that didn't work at the time.
This is a little off topic because we're talking about cards declining. I don't know if you guys remember this. I think I know. I think Joey remembers this. Were you there or was it Chris? I think it might have been. Actually, I think it was Chris. Regardless, it was Joey and someone, and we went to Sheets. We were doing Secret Santa.
Oh yeah, I love this.
We were doing Secret Santa, and I had Joey as the person that I had to give gifts to. So
I was there for this. I was there for this.
I didn't have a card canvas, did I? Or
No.
Not at the time.
so I needed someone to give me a ride, like in order to go pick up the gifts. We went to Sheets for one time, and I know what candy was I getting?
Crunch bars.
Joey loves those Crunch bars. I was like, I'm gonna get a few of those and just throw them like in his gift. And I think 3 chocolate bars. I think it was like $4, bro.
$4.10.
I walked up. There was a huge line behind me, like 10, 15 people.
Including me, by the way. Like I was in the line.
The store
behind
was
you.
like packed. No. At the time, you and Chris were waiting at the
Oh
door.
wait, yeah, you're right.
And I walk up and like I put the bars on the table and I'm like paying and like my card declines and the guy's like, sir, like your card declined. He was being kind of quiet about it because there's a lot of people there. And then like I think one of them like they saw something happening. Joey saw something happening. He's like, hey, like are you right over there? Like did your card decline?
I was like, I'll pay. Like just hurry
Do
up.
you
Like
need
I'll
help
pay.
And
didn't even think about
everybody's
it.
staring at me. He didn't know that I was buying his gift. It was the funniest thing. But
I had no idea that it was like my gift that you were buying. I was like, bro, like I'll just buy it because like I don't know why I thought like the conversation was taking forever. It wasn't. But I just was like, bro, like I'll buy it for you and then just Venmo me later. Like I didn't even think twice about it. That like it could be embarrassing that like you have no money on your card. I didn't even think about that. It was so funny, dude.
But yeah, we're heading in a very interesting direction, and the whole concept of how like you guys were saying like, oh, take like $20, like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that easily could be a thing one day, like easily.
On your wrist.
Yeah,
you
like-
get like it.
People already get chips. Did you know that?
Who is
That's
it?
dope.
You know how like you can like tap your phone? There's like
it's like Elon Musk or something like that who's like talking about
Oh,
like,
no,
microchips.
it's
no,
Bill Gates.
it's
Someone was talking about like
With the-
microchips.
Microchips
it's
in your
already
ear.
like a thing. What they do, you know how like you can like the contactless cards, like Apple
Oh,
Pay
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What they do
Scan
is they
things.
literally just remove the chip from that card, and there was like a Vice documentary. The guy just like put it in his hand. So every time he went to pay, they'd be like,
gross.
all right, swipe your card, and he'd just be like, all right, and he would put his hand over it and it would pay.
Yeah.
Because it's contactless, like it's the same thing. If you leave it like close enough to like the top or bottom of your hand,
Yeah.
it's like that big. It scans at the register.
That
Yeah.
that would be cool. Like you get a barcode on your hand.
Yeah,
That like
it's
is
like-
your debit card and then just.
Now the only thing is though, like, what if
dope.
when that chip breaks? You know what I mean? Then you gotta like have surgery to get it out and put a new one in.
Ooh.
Nah, the world's heading in a crazy direction, and like it's just weird to think about.
I like the whole. I like crypto. I know we've talked about this a couple times, but like I'm very. I'm into this whole like cryptocurrency, like decentralized currency.
Can I ask you a question about crypto?
Yeah.
So why would you? Do you think cryptocurrency is a better form of what's I'm looking for?
Like
Currency?
currency?
Currency than the normal money?
Oh, 100%.
Now, why do you think? Because I don't know that I don't.
Okay, now
I don't know why.
Now there's some pros and cons, obviously, but the way I look at it is that our monetary system right now is it's adjusted every day for inflation. You know what I mean? Like the
Right.
price of the dollar or the value of the dollar or the yen or the rupee, whatever, it goes up and down every day because all these governments are in debt and they're paying this, and like they're printing $2 trillion to send out in stimulus checks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the government is controlling it. They can print money whenever they want. They're like, all right, you know what, $2 trillion, boom, done. But cryptocurrency doesn't have that problem, at least decentralized cryptocurrency, because there's a difference. There's some that are decentralized and there's some that are like whatever, centralized, like they're controlled by like a governing power. But the code for Bitcoin and the whole like algorithm behind it was already written. It was already just like put into existence, but there is no governing body behind it. It's like a trust system. That's why like there's miners.
Right.
They mine it, whatever, they send the transactions, it goes through, they verify the transactions, boom, done. They get a portion of it, etc. But there is no like government or entity controlling this entire supply of currency.
Right. Yeah.
Which I think is incredible, because that means that like it's almost
Independent money.
it's independent and it's incorruptible.
Right, that makes
Because
sense.
people can't use it to their advantage to make themselves rich. It's just like, all right, I'm going to buy 2 Bitcoin. It's worth a lot of money, and if it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, it goes down. But it's not going to be affected by like the government
Right. For sure. That
and
makes
printing
sense,
money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's on its own. Same thing with like Ethereum and all the other platforms and stuff. So I think, hey, it's a good idea. So far, it's working, and I think in 10 years it'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
Just see what all that stuff is at.
I know a lot of places are starting to accept like Bitcoin cryptocurrencies as payment, just
Yep.
like for normal things. I mentioned it before, but like I can buy, if I wanted to, I can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin right now.
Yep.
Like I can just purchase it.
Well, you have to like have money.
Well,
Card can't, your card can't decline to buy a Tesla, Jordan.
You can't even afford a crunch bar right now.
Yeah, it's bad. No, it's bad. But yeah, like
I get what you're saying.
but there's online sites everywhere. I can just go shopping and use Bitcoin and
Yep.
cryptocurrency and all that stuff.
Yep.
Like it's just an amazing concept to me. And for example, like I said before, how many years? What? When did Bitcoin become big? I don't know.
Well, whatever. It was released in like 2009, 2010.
Bro, it was
but
actually
it
pretty
became
recent.
But it
that
became
like blew up like this.
well. The first time it blew up was in 2017, where it had its huge peak, went up to like 20, and then it just tanked.
In 2011, 2012, 99% of the people in this world, if you explain to them that like what Bitcoin was and like how it would work,
They'd look at you
would've-
like you're an
It's like
idiot.
so
like
crazy.
you were dumb.
They'd be like, "Are you trying to invent a
That's
video
insane.
game? Like you stupid."
Now it's
Yeah.
worth almost $60,000.
Everybody knows about it.
Yep. Everyone, honestly, like even a year ago, if you asked someone to explain like cryptocurrency to you, they wouldn't be able to do it. But now, probably 3 out of 5 people you'd ask would have like a decently good like definition of
You
it.
give people way too much credit.
No,
would say,
I think
like,
that
with a high enough IQ, like anybody
Okay,
with like
alright,
an
fair
IQ above such and such, then 3 out of 5 would.
People will understand basics though. Like you can ask someone like question and like you said
Bro,
the 3
some
out of
people don't
5.
even understand cash.
Yeah.
low-key though, like
I know a few
Joey,
people
Joey,
that don't
I hate that I'm
understand
agreeing
cash.
with you on this, but like common sense is
Yeah,
actually
that's what I'm
so hard to come by nowadays.
That's why Bitcoin is gonna be. It's gonna take a while to stick because like some people just don't get it. Like
Yeah.
some people just won't get
Or
it.
they're just too stubborn to. That's why I was talking about like old people. Like old people barely trust banks. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're still so it's almost like, oh, you're telling me to put all of my money that I have like in my hand, like a wad of cash, into an internet currency that I can trade with other people,
Right.
and it's just they're just like, no.
The problem is like until you're making cryptocurrency at your job, like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that'll be the day when
Yeah.
like your job is offering you like a certain amount of crypto to like work there.
Like my salary is like 2 Bitcoin. Like
yeah, per
Yeah.
year. Like you make like a few coins a year.
That's pretty good salary, low
Bro,
key.
It's a very good salary.
Like right now, that's
2 coins a year.
that's 120K.
Problem
a year.
is
Yeah,
like
bro.
what if all of a sudden like it's worth more? It would be very unpredictable.
Yeah. Now the only thing is
Yeah.
though that I would say about that is people talk a lot about like
Oh
the
my gosh.
volatility of people talk a lot about the volatility of Bitcoin. But the whole point of this is that after a while, the volatility isn't going to be so volatile anymore. Once it sticks, once it is integrated into like our economy, into our systems, then it's not going to drop 20% in a day and then go back up 15% the next day. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be at 60K, 40K, and then to 50K, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like it'll actually hold a pretty good form of value.
How it is now, it's the USD arguably does the same thing. Things increase and decrease. Like obviously you should have the same amount like of USD, but like things increase and decrease in price. Gas, it goes up and down. It's the same thing as Bitcoin going up and down in worth.
Yep.
Like as opposed to the things you're buying, like this is, I don't know. It makes it to where the things that are going up and down, like everything will have like a set price, right? And the gas prices will never change, but the Bitcoin price will change, and that's how you buy. Like, I don't know. Like I just feel like right now, like the value of cash never changes, right? Like it's the same all the time, and then like the value of like the stuff you're buying changes. Like cereal will be worth more in certain places depending on blah blah blah, and like.
Well, that's because the value of the dollar is changing. Because because 25 cents 30 years ago could have bought you a box of cereal. 25 cents now can't even buy you like a stick of bubble gum. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But like cash didn't change. It was the things that you're buying with cash changed.
Oh yeah, like the $20 bill is still $20.
Same concept as Bitcoin. It's just like the stuff won't change prices. It's just the Bitcoin will change like worth. And I think that's the direction that the world is moving in. Which
so basically, like the scarcity of Bitcoin is pretty incredible because as long as it is getting like a smaller and smaller supply, like every 4 years it has, whatever. Like miners get less and less and less. Then the value of it's just going to go up because it's almost like, I don't know, like a mental thing now, or it's like almost like pop culture-y. Like it's weird. People want to buy it because like everyone else is buying it. They're getting FOMO. And then the more and more they mine, the less and less there is in the future for it to mine. So, which that's like 100 years off. But the day that like Bitcoin, there's none left to mine, it's like it'll be like the last gold left on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Literally, like internet gold. That's why they call it that. And so that will be the day that like we'll be dead, but Bitcoin will be worth probably an incredible amount.
I'm waiting till I come upon a large influx of money to which I can buy some Bitcoin. Because at the moment I'm a broke boy.
Broke boy.
this summer for sure.
Now, I have to say, if we would have gotten on this train this time last year, if we would have sat down and figured out the ins and outs of this, not only would it have been like Bitcoin, bro, Ethereum was at like $100 at this time last year.
We'd
that
be
is
so
nuts.
rich. If we would have bought like 5 coins, bro, think of the money we would have right now.
Oh my gosh.
That's so depressing. I don't even like talking about that.
But you can't cry over spilled milk.
You can't.
That's one of those things.
You cannot.
And it only goes up from here.
Something is happening that in a year from now we're gonna be like, bro, how did we not get in? We should probably get smart and research things like this. You know, like things that are like opening up now.
Speak for yourself. What are you talking about?
But I guarantee you, in a year from now, there's gonna be something that you're like.
It's
that'd be
funny.
like, I wish I would have looked into more.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like talk to my
always
other friends and family members about stocks. So like I talk to like family and like friends about my portfolio and Robinhood and all and stocks and all that stuff. Because like I'm still learning. I'm still a beginner for the most part. I have a little experience under my belt, but it's funny. Like I was talking to my aunt. Her name's Lydia. She doesn't do stocks at all. But like I do. Like my dad invests in stocks. Like one of my uncles. My dad's actually he's loves all this stuff. He eats it up. But she was like, yeah, like if I wanted you to like show me some of the stuff and like how it works and like how you find your stocks and all that. And like I don't know what to tell her because Paul just tells me all my stocks, and I just buy whatever Paul says, and it makes me money. So
that's actually a good point. Where do you even come up with that and stuff?
What do you mean where to come up
Like,
with?
where do you like what
Joey,
website? What
when
website
I tell you-
articles? Like, what are you looking at?
When I tell you that there are some nights where I just like dig myself into like a rabbit hole of like 4 hours of just like obscure, like Cardano when that was coming out. Right. I knew about Cardano before it was like, not like mainstream, but a lot of people know like what ADA is now. Like they're like, oh, it's like incredible, it could replace Ethereum, whatever. I knew about Cardano like way back. It was so hard to obtain and to get that when it was at 12 cents, I didn't even have like a way to buy it. Right. Because believe me, if I would have had a way to buy it then, I would have been like, yeah, I'm buying it. Same thing with Elrond. Elrond, I watched his like one YouTube video, BitBoy Crypto. I watch him all the time. Really great video. And he was like, yeah, like Elrond's coming out. So I did a little research and I was like, this is incredible. This is amazing. It was like, what, $25, 30 a coin.
Right.
The next day after watching that video, it went to 60 because it like released its own wallet and like his video came out and everyone knew about it. And I was like, man, if I would have like actually sat down and like put in the effort to like make a wallet and buy Elrond that night, like, you know what I mean? Like you buy 10 coins, you just double your money.
Yeah.
Incredible. But once again, can't cry over spilled milk.
But yeah, the future's gonna be crazy. I'm excited to see what's got in store for us.
I am too. Now, I do have to say, I think that we caught it at a very good time. I think we got in early enough.
Caught the future.
We got in early enough before a lot of the other people where this will pay off for us in the end, as long as we're not complete idiots, and and spending it on things on the internet that only take Bitcoin is.
Think about it. If you think about how dumb you have to be to bet on a rocket ship
Yeah, and just
that
like
flies
and
into the air
lose
and
money.
could crash at any second.
And
That's so
the
stupid.
only thing that you have to do is cash out before it crashes.
That's so stupid.
Never, maybe it's.
By the way, we're looking at this all wrong. We need to make our own thing like that. I hope you know that.
No,
that if you want to make
agree with you.
money, think about it. If they make 6 bad rounds in a row, I don't know why I know about all this because I would never ever put money into it. But if they make 6 bad rounds in a row, they're making like 10 grand.
Yeah, no, you're
Just
right.
No.
in literally like 2 minutes.
Joey, so you and I are going to take our C++ skills and code into existence, right?
Yeah, we're gonna take our 74 and whatever you have in the class.
A bad grade.
Yeah, we're.
Oh, gosh.
All I can make happen right now is if it says "Hello World," then like I set color to blue. Like that's all I can do right now, and I can barely do that. We really should get on.
I can type an N line in and finish a sentence of code, but I can't start the sentence of code. N line.
That's why we're a team, though. We can combine what we know and maybe get an 80% in the class if we were to take it again.
And then we'll make an online gambling site
Yeah.
that takes people's cryptocurrencies.
You guys are interesting students. I'm excited to see what you guys can do.
I don't want to hear what
should-
you talk
yeah,
about.
Jordan,
Yeah,
how
it's
are your
students,
grades going
yeah,
now?
yeah.
But it looks like it's all time we have for this week. No, but I'm excited for what the future's got to hold. Keep your guys' eyes on Bitcoin and whatever else doing big things. And speaking of the future, tune in next week for our next podcast, and we'll see you guys soon.
Like I can say.
Review and everybody else.